This is gospel for the fallen ones, locked away in permanent slumber, assembling their philosophies from pieces of broken memories. Oh, 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 oh. The gnashing teeth and grinning tongues conspire against the odds, but they haven't seen the best of us yet. If you love me, let me go. If you love me, let me.
Hello and welcome to Apple Talk,
My name is Jeff.
and I am your host. Today we are going to interview some famous people who contributed greatly to astronomy. I think those people might be called astronomers. Anyways, these people are Aristotle, Potbelly, Copernicus, Galileo, Kepler, Isaac Newton, and Einstein. I thought these people died, but I guess not. Alright, let's start off with Mr. Aristotle. Please tell us which model you believe to be true and why.
I believe the solar system revolves around the Earth. It's geocentric, and also, every planet is a perfect sphere, except for the Earth. Because if everything was a perfect sphere, then it would continue to move in a circular motion around the Earth. Makes sense, right?
That's great. Good job. Well, next is Mr. Potbelly. Do you have anything to tell us?
Actually, it's pronounced Ptolemy.
That's good.
Like
Okay.
Aristotle, I believe that the Earth is the center of the solar system. Oh, by the way, geo means Earth in Greek, so that's why it's called the geocentric theory. Anyway, in my model, I have these little circles that the planet orbits, and that circle orbits the Earth. It helps explains retrograde motion, and my math also agrees with it. Geometry is that math. Very high level, retrograde is the apparent backwards motion of a star. One day you look up to the sky, and the star is moving one way, and then sometime later you look up and that same star is going back. Weird, right? Let me show you the model and it might help. So this model, like I previously stated, it shows that the Earth is the center of the universe and that each planet has its own epicycle, meaning that it has a backwards apparent motion. And, well, that's all I got.
That's good stuff. Okay, next is Mr. Copernicus. Dazzle us.
Well, first off, I want to say that Aristotle and Ptolemy, or Potbelly, are kind of stupid. Brilliance was limited back then, so that's okay. I think that the Earth is not the center of the universe. Instead, I think that it's the giant yellow ball we see in the sky, known as the sun. Also, I don't believe in random circles called epicycles. Those make it very confusing or kind of stupid too. The farther a planet is from the sun, then the longer it takes it to orbit the sun. And so, I'll show it later. Here, let me show you a better version of the solar system. It's known as the heliocentric model, which means sun-centered or something along those lines. Here. So, this is my model. Well drawn, perfect circles. So that's the sun, sun-centered. Next comes Mercury, and after Mercury comes Venus. After Venus comes the Earth. Notice how Mercury and Venus don't have those random little circles that they orbit just by themselves in the middle of nowhere. And around Earth orbits the Moon. After Earth comes Mars. And you see that the farther the planet is, the bigger their circle is. Makes sense. After Mars comes Jupiter. And after Jupiter comes Saturn. And after Saturn comes stars. They stay still. There's a big old sphere of stars. This model is the base for today's understanding of the solar system. That's it.
Jeez! Jesus Christ!
Welcome back from the break. Now we have Galileo expressing his discoveries and theories.
Okay, well, I had discovered the first known complete astronomical telescope by doing so in 1609 I discovered that the moon, shining with reflected light, had uneven mountainous surface, and that the Milky Way was made up of numerous separate stars, as well as the faces of Venus and the spots on the sun, and the oval shape of Saturn, resolving Saturn's rings. I also observed the four moons orbiting Jupiter, Jupiter, known as the Galilean moons present today. Leo, Europa, Ganymede, and Castillo.
That's very interesting.
I'm in love with the coco.
Go ahead.
I used to measure the heavens. Now I measure the shadows of the earth. Nice quote, and it's by me. I came up with my very own 3 laws. Every orbit, the first one is every orbit of the planets is actually slightly elliptical with the sun as the focus point. And the second one is a line joining a planet and the sun sweeps out equal areas during equal intervals of time. And the third is square of the orbital period of a planet is directly proportional to the cube of the semi-major axis of its own orbit. And then the closer a planet is to the sun, the faster it moves, and the farther it is from the sun, the slower it moves. I was the first astronomer to observe a supernova. This is a star exploding. Also, tides are caused by the gravitational force of the moon.
Yeah. Well, here is Sir Isaac Newton to enlighten us about stars and space and apples.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Girl, you look fierce today and we love
What are
it!
you doing?
Well, if you get a girlfriend, you won't have time for me, man.
What do you mean?
Kepler was just talking about how great his laws were. Well, I'm about to one-up him. I also came up with 3 laws. These are known as the 3 laws of motion. Let me show them to you. Okay, I also created calculus, so if you thought geometry was difficult, just you wait. I predicted that the Earth was an oblate sphere, which proved to be superior over earlier systems. Since people like rainbows, I discovered the spectrum of light using a prism.
So an apple a day might not keep the doctor away. They could possibly cause concussions. Those suck. Anyway, our final guest will be Einstein.
I'll start off by giving a quote. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Let me tell you, everyone that was before me was painfully limitless. Did you know I came up with the 2 theories of relativity? One is the special theory of relativity. It states that laws of physics are the same everywhere and that the speed of light is constant. The other is the general relativity theory, which states that the observed gravitational effects between masses results from their warping of space-time. I also came up with the principle of equivalence. The larger an object is, then the larger its gravitational effects on surrounding objects, including space. This theory is the basis for black holes. But you know what really pisses me off is that they used my scientific discoveries to create the atomic bomb.
I gotta tell you that all of that just flew over my head. All I know is that stars are those white dots in the sky, and that the Earth ain't flat.
Dazzle us.
Dazzle. Oh yeah.
How are you gonna go?
My name is Jack.
I couldn't say my name's Jack.
I can do it.